Hey, what's up? It's Morris, and in today's video I'm going to jump into a mistake that I see a lot of students these days making when preparing for the SAT or the ACT that's causing them to drain time and energy doing work and not seeing results. So if you're one of those students who's been working hard, who knows what they're doing and is just not seeing that result, is just not getting over that hump, this is the video for you. So here it is. What I've been noticing is that a lot of students have noticed the value of taking practice tests, which is awesome. And if you haven't heard me talk about why you need to take practice tests, then check out the video that I shot on that. Check out my blog. You absolutely must take practice tests, okay? But what I've noticed is that a lot of students are taking them and they're really excited about that. And they'll take the test and they'll want to know what they got, so they'll quickly score their test. And they'll look at it, and make sure, and then what do? They get their score, and then they're like, all right, I'm done. That's it. Either I went up or I didn't go up, but I'm done. It's a huge mistake. And what they'll see then is they keep taking another, and they're not getting the results. And they're not getting the results because they're not doing this critical aspect. They're not reviewing their practice test in accordance with the way that I'm about to describe. The first thing that I try to show students is that there's absolutely no value to just taking a practice test and getting questions right. You know, everything that you get right on a practice test, you already knew how to do. You got it right because you knew how to do that. What's the whole point of taking it? Why are you spending the 3 hours taking it? Just for those jewels, the things that you got wrong. Because those things point to areas in your mind that are weak, areas that you still don't know how to do. And they're a pointer that point you in the direction of how you need to go about preparing. So I'm going to run through now exactly how to review your practice test in the optimal way to really reap all of the rewards from all of that energy of taking that practice test and utilizing it to boost your score. So step one is you need to review the answers that you got wrong. Obvious, right? But when you do it, you need to do a couple of very important considerations that I'm going to show you what you need to consider. So first, let's go section by section. A lot of people hate reviewing the reading section. I feel like there's no point. I just know that I got it wrong and that the other one was right. No, wrong, false, boo. No, that's the exact mindset that will lead to you never improving your reading score. Okay, take it from someone who got an 800 on reading. This is key. You get a question wrong, you need to ask yourself the following questions. A, why did I choose what I chose? What was I thinking? 1. B, if I had to do it again, what would I choose and why? Let's hope that that one was right? If that wasn't right, then what about the passage did I not understand? And here you might have to reread the passage. You might have to ask a friend who got the question right. But the best thing to do is really to sit and read it again and again and again until you understand why you got it wrong and how you could get it right next time. So that's 1, understanding that question. 2, what you want to look for is there any patterns? Do I keep getting similar types of questions wrong? And if you don't know the various types of reading questions, check out my video on that. The double questions, the word in context, the purpose questions, the graphic questions, the main idea questions. Check out my video on that. Reading could be broken down into very, very basic categories and sections, and you need to understand that, okay? So is there any pattern? And if there's a pattern, how do I address that pattern as a whole? Okay, so I'm going to move on from reading. I know that was the most boring. If you're still here, good. Let's take grammar. Grammar section, very similar. Again, reviewing the questions I got wrong. Again, looking for patterns. Do I keep getting comma questions wrong? Did I get a semicolon question wrong? And what does that say? Do I know the rules of semicolons? Did I get a reordering sentence question wrong? Do I know the rules of reordering sentences? Again, keeping a careful list, of all of the things that you still do not know how to do perfectly. And write it, colons. I'm not sure how to do it. I'm still not sure with reordering the sentences. Add that to your list. Okay? So you're mining for these areas, these categories that you're struggling in. And we'll get to what to do next. So that's writing. And then math, same exact thing. If you got a question wrong, it means you don't know how to do something. Is it a triangle question? Do you not know how to do Pythagorean theorem? Do you know exponential equations and what their formulas look like? Do you know how to solve vertex form by using completing the square? And any area, again, that you don't know, you add it to your list. And you have to understand these categories. The best case, you take it with us, what we do is we scan your score, give you the analysis, showing you the categories that you're weak in exactly for this purpose. So you come up with this list. Now you have this list of areas that you still don't know. What do you need to do now? You need to drill these areas. How do you drill these areas? Get a curriculum. You use my book. Use my portal. Use Khan Academy. Order yourself a book. Ask your friend to teach you. Any of these methods, you need to figure out how to do something that you didn't know how to do yesterday. That's how your score increases. You need to understand the rule of the 2 dots. You need to understand the rule of the dashes. Now you understand it, you get the points. Very, very simple. So, reviewing wrong answers, mining for categories that you're struggling in, and then drilling those categories. If you haven't watched my video on drills versus scrimmage, you're going to want to check that out. That's the core foundation that I use to explain test prep. Drilling and scrimmage, okay? So you're going to want to do drills there. So that deals with what you got wrong. That alone should take you an hour to 2 hours, depending on how many questions you're getting wrong, almost as much time as you're spending on the practice test. Now that's great. If you did that already, it would be huge. And I just had a meeting with a student. Score's not going up, and I told him exactly this message. He came to me with a list of questions and areas that he's struggling in, and boom, sent him videos, sent him links, sent him advice on the portal, easily showing him where he needs to work. We're working together. His score is going to go up. I know it, and that's because he followed this advice. So that's one. 2, and this is even a level deeper. You need to go over questions that you got right. Questions that I got right. What do you mean by that? I got it right. I know how to do it, Mars, so I'd have to go over it. I knew that one. This is very, very subtle. When you get a question right, do you always know 100% that was the answer? Or what happens a lot of times? You're between a few choices. You're deciding. You're not positive. You have an idea, but you're not sure, right? If you don't reward yourself for making the right choice, then all that was worthless. You're not going to reinforce the behavior that you want to reinforce. It's like when a dog, he does a good job. What do? Say, good boy, baby, good boy. Well, why do you do that? To reinforce that positive behavior. Got to do that to yourself. You got to give yourself the credit for the ones you got right. Now you say, Morris, how do I know? Every question I have to go over? So this is key. This is another one of my tricks, probably another video on this whole video, but what you need to do when you're taking the test is star any question that you're not positive about. Any question that you are not 100%, you put a star next to it. That way when you go over it, you get the number 22. Ooh, I got it right, nice, but I was between B and A. Why did I end up choosing B? Why did I choose B? Why didn't I choose A? Good boy, right? Okay. So we got, go over wrong answers, make a list categories, go over questions that you got right, reaffirm. The best thing I heard is a student, every time he got a question wrong, okay? Every time he got a question wrong, I love this, okay? He took the question and he added it to a notebook. Or, you do it on our portal and you have that list. And then you keep going over those questions that you got wrong. Keep going over them. If you don't know how to do them in a month, it means you didn't learn properly. Okay, so I like that also, saving a notebook with the various different questions that you got wrong. And that's pretty much it. So instead of wasting your time taking practice tests, another practice test, take a practice test. Good. You did the hard part. But now is the important part. Now is the part where you grow, where you dive in, okay? If you could do it on your own, great. If you need a partner to do that with you, love to work with you. Come use my portal. Upload your answers. Get the reports of your weaknesses. Have assignments assigned to you based on your weaknesses. Love to work with you. Either way, I'm here for you. Follow us on Instagram. Throw me a nice like. Give me a comment. Join the revolution. I'll see you next time.